Gaza, of course.
Well, okay. So the Israelis say that President Abbas, since the unity government has been formed, that he bears responsibility for not disarming this or not preventing this attack and attacks of its kind. Do you agree that President Abbas shares responsibility, or it is his responsibility to do that, and that the Israelis could look at him and say this is his fault?
Well, we believe that President Abbas must do all in his power to prevent deterioration in the security situation, but we would also note that he has upheld his responsibility to maintain security coordination with Israel, and he has publicly stressed his commitment to do that. And so I think he has made every effort to continue to be a partner in this regard.
So this doesn't have any, this attack doesn't have anything, won't have any bearing on your decision to work with the unity government and continue to provide assistance to it?
It does not. Obviously, we're concerned about it, and we condemn it in the strongest terms, but the President Abbas's ability to impact these type of attacks is really severely limited at this point in time.
Well, yeah, but isn't that part of that's part of the entire problem with agreeing to go along and work with the government, is it not? I mean, the Israelis said the whole time that these attacks are going to continue. If you recognize that his ability is extremely limited to prevent this kind of thing, for there to be security cooperation between him, his government, and the Israelis, how is it that you made the leap to go ahead and say, all right, this is a government that we can do business with?
Well, this was the creation of an interim technocratic government. Obviously, at some point there will be elections. This is an interim period. As we've long stated, we're continuing assistance but we'll be watching closely, and if something changes, so we'll act accordingly.
So,
but nothing.
So, how many more rocket attacks do there have to be before you decide that that we made a mistake?
Well, again, Matt, you're familiar, I'm sure, with what the criteria are for delivering assistance. While we're very concerned about these rocket attacks, and we feel President Abbas needs to do everything possible to prevent them, we understand that his ability to do that is severely limited.
But then I don't understand why I can't. I mean, if you think that this guy doesn't have control over everyone who is either a member of or is backing his unity government, why would you do business with it? Why would you give it money? I mean, if you were one part of, I don't know, one segment of the Israeli society, political society or otherwise, you could, if you hold Abbas responsible for this attack, hold the United States, in a sense, responsible for this attack, because you guys are just continuing to support the unity government.
Well, as you know, there are no members of Hamas in the technocratic unity government, technocratic government, I should call it, which is the accurate term for it. That is one of our criteria for continuing to provide assistance. We'll be watching closely over the course of the coming weeks and months.
Even though it is backed by Hamas, and you hold Hamas responsible for this rocket attack today, that you don't see a connection, no?
I'm not suggesting we don't understand the connection, Matt, but again, this is a case where President Abbas strongly condemned these actions. We think he should do everything possible to prevent them from happening and to call for and provoke unity among these groups. But we understand at this point in time, there's very little that he can do to prevent them.
Why is it in your interest to continue to deal with the unity government, notwithstanding this rocket attack?
Because the Palestinian people and our relationship with the Palestinian Authority is an important relationship with the United States. We continue to believe that support to them is something that is important to the United States.
But if Hamas feels that it can shoot rockets from Gaza into Israel with impunity, and this has no effect whatsoever, for example, on its ability to form a unity government with the PA, even if there are no Hamas members in the actual government, you have a disincentive that you could use here, which would be to stop dealing with the unity government or to stop funding it. And that might tell Hamas, well, maybe we should think twice about sending rockets in. But the way you've cast it, they can send an unlimited number of rockets in, and they can still be supportive of this unity government, and you'll still give the unity government and the PA money.
Well, we made a decision as the United States government that our assistance to the Palestinian Authority is important to the United States, and so that's why it is continuing. And they did have met the criteria, including the quartet principles that have been laid out. We will be judging this government by its actions, and we will address issues as needed moving forward. But
you
nothing
don't
has changed at this point in
You
time.
don't see this attack as an action of the government.
No,
You see it as an action by a supporter of the government, not you. I'm talking about Hamas, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, well, is that correct? Let's just start there. You see this as an attack by Hamas on Israel. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. You do understand this, the equivalent that the Israelis say that because Hamas while there are no Hamas members in it, this government, this technocratic government, is supported by Hamas, and therefore this is a problem. You don't agree with that?
Well, again, Matt, this is a technocratic government that just formed in the past couple of weeks. We'll be watching events closely as time continues. The government itself has abided by the principles that we have outlined through the quartet and what the United States expects as well, and we'll evaluate accordingly. But nothing has changed
All right.
as it relates to our assistance.
And then just on Abbas himself, you say that he has condemned it, but the condemnation is really, I mean, it's good, I suppose, that he is not applauding and saying, well, this is a good thing, but he needs to stop it, doesn't he?
Well,
Isn't that
he's
the US
also
position?
demanded that all factions abide by the ceasefire
Right.
agreement.
But at some point, it's got to be actions, not words, right? So this is not an action enough to get you to get the administration to change its position.
Correct.